Welcome aboard the Carnival Celebration. In this video, I'm taking you along on my 7-day Eastern Caribbean cruise adventure, sharing my experience day by day. You will get a real look at what it's like on board and at port. Join me as I highlight the ship, the food, the fun, and the sights along the way. Alright, let's dive into our 7-day Eastern Caribbean adventure aboard the Carnival Celebration. We visited Celebration Key, Nassau, Amber Cove, and Grand Turk with 2 fun days at sea along the way. Let's kick things off with Day 1, Embarkation Day. Day 1 started bright and early for us because we flew into Miami that morning, and I don't usually recommend this. If you can, try to arrive at least 1 day ahead. It just saves on anxiety and makes things way less stressful. Getting to the Miami cruise port was busy. What should have been a 15 to 20 minute drive from the airport took us around an hour and a half. There were 11 ships in port that day, plus construction, so my tip, always leave extra time to get to the ship. Once we arrived, check-in was smooth and quick. We boarded, did the mandatory safety drill, and then headed straight to lunch at Shack's Big Chicken, one of my personal favorite eateries on the Excel class ships. And of course, we couldn't resist our first cocktail of the cruise, the Mocha Chocolate Getaway, which is my go-to. After lunch, it was time for the sail-away party. I like to watch from the side on one of the upper decks overlooking the action. It's a great way to people watch and catch the energy of the cruise director and the fun squad.
The man with the plan, your cruise director, is Joey Breeze!
Well, hello, everybody! Welcome to the Carnival Celebration and welcome to your vacation! Make some noise for the entertainment team here aboard the Carnival Celebration!
After soaking in the action for a bit, I went to my cabin to relax. As mentioned, it had been a very early morning with a crazy day of travel, so I watched the rest of the beautiful Miami sail away from our balcony, unpacked, and got ready for dinner. We had dinner at the Carnival Restaurant. This is where they placed us for the assigned dining option. We always choose this option because we enjoy having the same table and dining staff each night. We were also pleasantly surprised when we arrived the first night with a stunning view from our table. Seeing the wake behind the ship every evening was perfection. After dinner, we checked out a show at Center Stage. I think it was called Activate the Fun. It was a fun mix of entertainment and a great way to get a feel for the different shows, venues, and activities you can enjoy throughout the week. This also gave us another chance to meet the cruise director and the Fun Squad team. A perfect way to start the cruise. And to end our first night, we went to a comedy club at the Punchliner Comedy Club, the adult-only comedy venue. Day 1 was long, but it was a perfect introduction to life on board the Carnival Celebration. Day 2 of our Eastern Caribbean cruise was a stop at Celebration Key. This was a new experience for me, both the stop itself and not having a sea day right away. It was a bit of an adjustment, but because it was Celebration Key and my first time visiting, I was excited to explore. This Carnival exclusive port is much bigger than I expected. What surprised me the most was the size of the pools. They are massive and seem to never end. After walking around and checking everything out, we found a quiet spot at the further end of the Starfish pool and spent a few hours just relaxing. We kept things simple and didn't spend any money on extras, but there are plenty of additional add-ons available if you want them, including upgraded seating, slides, and drinks. A meal was included with our visit, so we shared chicken fingers and mozzarella sticks from one of the food trucks. Each meal came with fries, a cookie, and filtered tap water. This was just a quick snapshot of this port, but I also created a helpful what to expect video for first-timers. If you want to know more about Celebration Key, including layout details and what each section includes, that full video is up on my channel and I will leave a link in the description if you want to check it out next. That evening, we enjoyed dinner in the dining room, took some photos around the ship, and then headed to a show at the Center Stage called A Night of Celebration. The show was a bit of a mishmash of entertainment, which included introductions to the senior officers, a song and dance performance, and some incredible and impressive acrobatics.
To the stage tonight, we are going to be dancing in the streets these amazing Latin tunes. You guys seem ready. This lot seem ready. So now, let's get loud!
And to end off the night, they hosted a Motown party at Center Stage. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to stay very long, but I ended up staying for the whole thing. It was a lot of fun singing, dancing, and reminiscing to all the classic songs. Day 3, we woke up in Nassau, Bahamas. Because we have visited Nassau a few times recently, and because the excursion we wanted to do was sold out, we decided to just get off the ship for a quick walk around the cruise center and then head back on board for a quiet afternoon. In the past, I've enjoyed browsing the straw market just outside the cruise center, walking to one of the public beaches, and my all-time favorite spot in Nassau is the Queen's Staircase. It's stunning, free to visit, and something I highly recommend checking out. I've covered Nassau in these highlights in much more detail in another video on my channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. After getting back on board the ship, it was time for lunch. Here's a quick look at what was available at the Lido Marketplace that day. That afternoon, we relaxed and read on our balcony and enjoyed a beautiful sail away and sunset before dinner. That night, we decided to skip the main dining room and have dinner at ChiBang instead, Carnival's fusion of Chinese and Mexican cuisine. It's my favorite specialty restaurant that's included on XL class ships. Every guest gets one complimentary visit during their cruise, with additional visits available for an extra charge. Every time I eat here, I leave extremely full. You can mix and match dishes from both menus, choosing appetizers, mains, sides, and desserts from either or both cuisines. It is so good, but definitely go hungry, especially if you're like me and want to try a little bit of everything. After dinner, we watched the Love and Marriage show in the theater, which is one of my favorite shows to watch and is a Carnival classic. And after that, we headed up to the Lido deck for the 80s Rock and Glow party. I didn't stay long, but I always enjoy watching the fun from the sidelines for a little bit. Day 4 was our first sea day, and honestly, it felt a little strange. I'm so used to having a sea day right at the start of the cruise, so I was definitely ready for this day. I love sea days because they equal pure relaxation and give me time to really enjoy the ship itself. I spent some time reading on our balcony, went to Creativity at Sea where we made bookmarks, and completed day 4 of my stairs challenge. At the beginning of the cruise, I challenged myself to climb the set of stairs on the ship, both up and down, then multiply it by the day of the cruise. So on day 4, I had to do the set of stairs 4 times. By this point, I was definitely questioning why I had come up with this challenge, but it was my way to stay active on vacation without going to the gym. It definitely got harder as the week went on, but I like to think I was building some pretty strong leg muscles along the way. For lunch, we headed to the special invite-only Diamond Luncheon. I always look forward to this because the food is fantastic, the drinks are complimentary, and it's a great opportunity to meet other Diamond guests. And as it turned out, the couple sitting beside us were originally from Cuba. Since my home away from home is in Cuba, we hit it off immediately and had a fantastic conversation. Looking back, that lunch was one of my favorite moments of the trip. After lunch, we headed to one of our favorite bars and enjoyed a couple of cocktails. That evening, we headed back to the dining room for dinner. Food was great as always, and the staff put on a fun performance. It's one of the little things I love about Carnival, and also one of the reasons I enjoy eating in the dining room. And for entertainment that evening, we headed to Center Stage for Deal or No Deal and Guess That Groove. They are both game show style shows and a lot of fun to watch. One of the things I love most about the XL class ships is that there is no shortage of entertainment. Between the Center Stage and the theater, there are different shows every night, so you always have plenty of options. The downside, you may not be able to see everything because there are so many options and some shows overlap. Luckily, we were going back-to-back sailing, so anything we missed this week, we were able to catch the following week. Be sure to watch that cruise vlog when it comes out. It's day 5 of our Caribbean cruise, and we have made it to Cove, which is in the Dominican Republic. We decided to stay within the cruise center and check it out, and honestly, you can spend your entire port day here if you wanted to. There's a good sized pool area, shopping, a zip line, and even a sky bar overlooking the port. We spent some time browsing the souvenir shops and then made our way up to the Sky Bar where we enjoyed a bucket of beers and some fish and chips. The Sky Bar was completely my vibe, with Caribbean music playing and a laid back atmosphere. Give me a great view, a cold drink, and nowhere to be, and I'm happy. A tip if you're planning to visit the Sky Bar. It's at the top of a hill near the entrance to the zip line and slides, and there are 2 ways to get there. Each offers different views and a different experience. You will come across the stairs first, but there's also a ramp. We took the stairs up and the ramp back down, but I'd probably do it the other way next time. If you'd rather take the ramp, walk around the pool area to the far side near the bottom of the slides. And here's a quick look at the ramp leading down to the pool area. And one more tip, don't forget your camera. There are so many great photo opportunities around Amber Cove, including the Amber Cove sign, the views from the Sky Bar and the path leading up to it, plus the small little area that has a fun water/forest feature. That evening, we had dinner in the dining room and I ordered the salmon. It's one of my favorite dishes because it's always cooked to perfection. After dinner, we headed to the center stage for one of my favorite shows, Celestial Strings. It's such a beautiful production featuring the singers, dancers, and the talented string trio. The next morning, we woke up to a towel animal party on the Lido deck. Another reason why I love Carnival. It's the little cute things like this that get my attention. All right, today we are in Grand Turk. I just got here aboard the Carnival Celebration, and because I've done that cruise port before, we decided to do an excursion. That's the backdrop here, home sweet home. Day 6 brought us to our final port, Grand Turk, and we really enjoyed it. As mentioned, we booked an excursion through Carnival to an adults-only beach getaway, where we enjoyed unlimited drinks and a fantastic home-cooked meal. If you're looking for a quieter, more relaxed beach day, I would definitely recommend the Home Sweet Home excursion. The beach at Grand Turk Cruise Center is beautiful, but I personally find it a little too crowded. This beach was just as beautiful, but much more secluded. Just keep in mind that there is a rock formation in the water, so you may need to go around it if you want to swim. Since I'm not much of a swimmer, it didn't bother me, but I thought it was worth mentioning. I thought it was the perfect beach day. Our hosts were incredibly welcoming and prepared a delicious traditional home-cooked meal for us. I also created a more in-depth video about this excursion, so if it sounds like something you'd enjoy, I'll leave a link in the description. That evening, we watched Family Feud live in the theater and then finally got to see the very popular Most Magnificent Circus at center stage. I've sailed on Carnival Celebration before, but missed this show because I arrived too late to get a good seat. From my experience, the sweet spot is arriving about 45 minutes early if you want an unobstructed view. If you don't mind having part of your view blocked, you probably don't need to get there quite that early. This time we made sure to arrive early, had the perfect view of the entire show, and it was absolutely worth it. Day 7, the last day of this cruise, was a sea day. I started the morning sitting on the balcony with a book, and then I tackled the final day of my stairs challenge. By this point, I needed a few breaks along the way, and I used these breaks as an opportunity to take photos around the ship. And then it was time for lunch. I enjoyed Jack's Big Chicken once again. It's definitely my favorite lunch spot on the ship. And then, of course, I couldn't resist stopping for gelato. The gelato is only available during lunch buffet hours. They have different flavors each day, and the passion fruit is definitely my favorite. If you miss the gelato, don't worry. There's also complimentary soft serve ice cream available 24 hours a day.
From now until then. My name is Joey. If we've not met yet, hello. I'm your cruise director here on board, and it is my honour and privilege to welcome you here to your VIFP party, and to also welcome some amazing individuals who have joined us today as well.
After lunch, we went to the Diamond and Platinum reunion party before getting ready for dinner. Dinner that evening was at the Italian Specialty Restaurant, which is another restaurant that's complimentary for your first visit. And once again, we left extremely full. After dinner, we stopped by the Latitudes Bar for a cocktail and were surprised by a parade celebrating all of the crew members working on board. It recognized the many different countries represented on the ship, and it was really neat to see. And that's a wrap on the first week of our back-to-back Carnival Celebration adventure. Next up is week 2, where we will be sailing a different itinerary with new ports, different shows, more great food, and all new adventures along the way. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next vlog when it comes out. Thank you for watching, and happy cruising!